like everybody does, we go through different seasons in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go through storms, and then we have those sunny days and all that too, right? And so I find now, especially over the past, I want to say 10 years of getting into personal development, and it really made me realize that I need to continue peeling back those layers of who I thought I was to actually become who I'm supposed to be. There's so much that I have to offer people, so much love to give and support. And the reason I do all of this in a big way is because I know what it's like not to have people believe in you. I know what it's like to have people stomp on your dreams. I know what it's like to have people ridicule you and call you down and, just make you feel worthless, right? I never want anybody to feel that way. And so that's my goal and my purpose, is to keep pushing forward with that. And that's, again, coincides with the foundation of the VO Academy.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to elevate. We sing it loud and proud. We make our voices known. Nothing can shut them out. Elevate. Shout it for you and me. We can do anything. It's time to set us free.
Welcome to Time to Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Ann Lucente, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me today. Whether you're a longtime listener or tuning in for the first time, thank you for stepping into my world. If you know me even a little bit, you know I believe there are no coincidences in life, only divine timing. And meeting my guest today was a powerful reminder of that truth. Although I heard about him before, it wasn't until a short month ago that we truly connected. And that introduction couldn't have come at a better time. I was looking for something to shake me up and help take my voiceover career and myself to the next level. I felt a bit stuck, a little stagnant, and connecting with him has truly been a game changer. But we'll get to the reasons in just a minute. Before I bring him on, let me tell you a little bit about him. He's been a warm, trusted voice talent in Western Canada since 2017, bringing his authentic style to projects like audiobooks, radio ads, e-learning modules, and YouTube narrations, all from his broadcast-quality home studio. Not only is he an exceptional talent, but he's also passionate about helping others succeed in the industry. In 2021, he founded the VO Academy, a supportive, affordable community for voice actors to grow together and lift each other up. It's my honor to introduce you to a kind, nurturing leader in voiceover, a talented and dedicated voice actor, and the founder of the VO Academy, my friend, Cory Rhymes.
Whoa, hello. That was really, really nice.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, it's all about you.
I was like sitting here blushing. I'm like, oh, stop.
It's
so
all
nice.
true. It's all
very
true.
Sweet. Very sweet. I very much appreciate that nice warm welcome into your
Oh.
podcast here. It's fantastic. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I'm so
you bet.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
This is so great. Yeah. So, saying how we met, I have to mention, Brad Storm. We got to give him a shout out.
Oh, he's the best. He's the absolute best. Yeah.
He is the best. He is the best. And I knew him for a few years. And like I said, your name came up here and there, and I was like, I've heard of him. I know this. And, like we've talked before, there's so many groups, and they're, wonderful groups, but they are they mush together when you're out here, like trying to figure out your life and stuff like that.
Very
so
true. Yeah.
It was just so funny because Brad had said, I interviewed Brad, so he's got his interview on here. Go back and listen if you haven't. And it was just like, all of a sudden, he was talking about, of course, he's talking about the, you and the VO Academy. And then I was like, gosh, I've been meaning to do that for years. You think I'm kidding? For years.
Really? Yeah.
Right? So it's all about like the timing. It's about when the student's ready, the teacher appears and you're like, it's all new. I never heard that before, and it's like so funny. But I was so glad. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. I don't want to get into that yet.
Sure.
Before we talk about that, that stuff, that great stuff, I want to talk about you.
Oh, more about me.
This is about you.
This is so awkward.
It's all about Cory today. I love it.
Oh,
I get
good.
nervous. Every time I
Yeah.
do a podcast, I get nervous, but
Yeah.
I'm only nervous about the intro because I want to get it right.
You wanna
Once
get
we're
it
out of
right.
that, it's all about you.
Then you're
I'm
fine.
good.
Then it's all about me, and if I mess up, doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, funny. Well, I do want to
Oh.
apologize. I have my dog is upstairs there, and he's been
Oh.
barking at the window, so I'm hoping that it'll be okay, and it won't be able to come through here to the podcast.
No
But
problem.
yeah,
No problem. If he or she,
yeah.
he. Okay. So if
Yeah.
he comes to, what's his name?
Charlie. Yeah.
Okay, Charlie. We'll give Charlie credits.
Sounds good.
He'll be fine. We'll post a picture of him in there.
Good. Normally it's more quiet than that, but that's okay. He must have saw a rabbit outside or something. So
It's so
that's
funny.
good.
No,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. That's really good. So tell me about you. Now I know you're from Canada, and no
Yes.
joke. In my intro, I had to put in big letters, Canada, bolded. I kept wanting to say Connecticut because I'm from New York. Western Connecticut. I said it every time I was reading. Because
Oh my
everybody's
gosh.
from like the New York area. Nobody's from
Everybody's from New York. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. So
That's
tell me
funny.
about you. You're Canadian. I know that.
Yes.
Where are you
Yep.
from exactly?
So I'm from. I live in Alberta, so it's part of Western Canada, and I live in one of the second biggest city in Alberta called Calgary. I think we're the second. Maybe we're the first now. I'm not too sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I've been here now for about 3 years, almost 3 years. Beautiful city, really, really nice city. Very picturesque. We're right close to the mountains, so we got mountain views all the time, which is really lovely. And it's a really nice, just kind of a spot if you want to go out to nature and enjoy nature. And that's something that, we really love doing. So I've been wanting to move here for quite some time and got the opportunity and jumped at it. And here we are. 3 years later, we're still here. So
That's
yeah.
one. And before, so where were you? Like, did you grow up in Canada or were
Yeah, I
you somewhere
did.
else?
Yeah. I kind of, everybody used to think that I was like like an army brat because I moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But actually my dad worked in the mines, and so he would, we moved from Ontario. I was born in Sudbury, Ontario. And we moved from there to British Columbia when I was like 1 year old. So I don't remember anything about Ontario.
Mhm.
And we lived in BC for quite a number of years and moved around from mine to mine because it would be up in operation for a little while and then it would shut down and you'd have to move on, right? So
Wow. Yeah.
so we did that for quite some time, and then we moved to Alberta we moved to a northern city of Alberta called Fort McMurray, and it's a big, huge oil town, like it's massive.
Mhm.
And so we moved there in like the early 80s. I think I want to say 81, maybe 82.
Mhm.
And we lived there for about 18 months, and then the mine ended up going on strike.
Oh,
so,
jeez. Oh, my
so,
gosh.
so we moved down to southern Alberta to this beautiful little town called Pincher Creek. And my dad worked at an ammonia plant out there for about 4.5 years. I think we lived in that town until that one shut down. And then we moved off to just on the outskirts of Edmonton. And that's where we ended up settling. I was in grade 7 by the time we moved there.
Mhm.
And then after that, I mean, once I was done high school, I moved into Edmonton, stayed in Edmonton for a number of years. And then I met my wife, and we moved off to Rocky Mountain House, and then off to Black Falls, and then now we're here in Calgary. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. And the mining is not an easy
No,
job to
no,
be.
and I mean,
That's
he
not.
wasn't he wasn't a laborer working in the mines itself. He
Okay.
was he worked as a chemist. That's his
Oh,
background. So,
okay.
but I mean, like anything else, if it shuts down, it shuts
Mhm.
down. You move, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So cool. So you mentioned your wife. So tell me, so
Yes.
now you guys are living there. So tell me about your family just a little bit.
Yeah, so Jennifer is she's by trade a holistic nutritionist,
Oh.
and so she's been doing that for a number of years, quite a number of years now, and done quite well at it. Built a really good system and program in place to be able to help women deal with anxiety issues, and so she's helped a lot of women who've been struggling for many, many years, which is really, really, I'm very proud of her for doing that.
Wow.
She also does voiceover too. She's done some
Oh.
projects with me, which has been fantastic. Yeah. And now she started up a YouTube channel called Wild Wonders. And it's her voice and our son Sam, who is, he has autism. And so Sam was nonverbal when, like just a few years ago. And he only started talking when we moved to Calgary, to be quite honest. It was unreal. Like it just, one day she sent me a video of him singing Old MacDonald had a farm.
Oh my
And I'm like, we're
gosh.
both like, in
You're like,
tears, like, oh yeah, because he wasn't
yes.
speaking. And so So
Oh
she
my
has him on this
gosh.
video with her, and they do the video together, and it's all about animals of the world and just little tidbits of information, and she's really trying to market it towards kids, right, and families and
Yeah.
such. So she just started that, and it's pretty exciting for sure.
Oh my God. Would she be okay with me then sharing her
Oh
link
yeah,
along with
yeah.
yours?
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
making
yeah,
note of this, so I remember to
yeah,
ask you for this after
yeah.
the
You
fact.
bet.
That would be that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cute to hear my son's voice on the microphone, and
Oh,
so sometimes he does better than other days. It's like trying to pull
it's like all of us, I
pull
think,
the hair
right?
out
It's like
type thing. Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. So
it's like the rest of it. How old is he now?
he'll be 7 here on Wednesday.
Oh
So
wow. And this is what, a couple of years
sorry,
ago
he'll
that
be
he's
8. My apologies. He'll
Oh
be
my
8 on Wednesday. Yeah, this is a couple years ago. This is the first year we
wow.
were living here. So yeah.
Oh my God, what a gift. An amazing
Huge.
gift.
Very,
Oh
very, yeah,
wow.
yeah. One of the
That
main reasons why I moved here, I mean, we always wanted to move to Calgary, but Calgary, we looked at different schools across the country, and for kiddos who are on the spectrum, Calgary seemed to be the best place
mm-hmm.
for families, and so we came here. There's a lot more support
Great.
and special needs schools for that, and we were
Yeah.
fortunate enough to get him into a really good school, and
Wonderful.
he's done very well, very well. So yeah,
That's so important because I know people and people in the family who it wasn't. There was not
yeah,
there were no
yeah.
resources many, many years ago.
Oh, it's tough.
And yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, it was frustrating because it was like at the beginning of all this, like Jen had that, you know, keen sense at the very beginning, and she's like, I think he's autistic, and I'm like, no, it's
Right.
just a phase. He'll be fine. He'll
Right.
grow out of it, right?
Right.
But it wasn't obviously,
Right.
and we took him to specialists and doctors, and like our family doctor was like, because we told him like he doesn't eat, like he doesn't. We're trying to get him to eat stuff, and he just won't
Right.
eat, and he's like, oh, he'll be fine. Just give him cookies. We're like, but you're a
Oh,
doctor. What are you talking
give him
about? Give him
cookies.
cookies. Like something's not right here. And then we had
Oh,
another doctor who was like, because we had to take him to a hearing specialist because they thought that he might be deaf,
oh,
and
yeah.
we got him tested for that, and it came back fine. But the doctor was he was a little rude to us for sure, and what he was saying, and just said it didn't have very good bedside manner, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, so there was a lot of challenges and hoops that we had to jump through, and it's not easy for families who are on, who have children with special needs.
Mhm.
It's not an easy road, and everything that you were taught or thought you knew about raising a child who
Right.
isn't on the spectrum, if you have one who's on the spectrum, everything that you thought you knew is
Mhm.
gone. Like you have to start
Right.
scratch because nothing is the same, right? So
Right.
I feel for special needs families and parents. It's hard on relationships. It's hard on families, and it's not the kid's fault. It's just there's a lot of stuff that you have to go through, right? A lot of stuff,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
all you want. It's like any other parent. All you want is the best for your child, and you're
Right.
willing to do anything that you can to make sure that child gets it, right?
Right.
So,
It's
but
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
quite
my
the
gosh.
journey.
It is a journey. What a
Yeah,
blessing. And I'm so happy that you've come to this point. And then, because learning along the way, like you said, even without being on the spectrum, you're like,
yeah,
what am I doing? Like, am I
yeah.
doing,
Oh, you have no
I'm
idea.
totally messing up my kid here. I
Yeah,
don't even know what I'm doing.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and yeah. So it's great that you've got these resources because that is
Yeah,
huge.
tons. Yeah, which
That
is
is so
nice.
huge.
And I mean, Jen is like I credit her for all the advancements for Sam. Like I'm really good at like I'll take him out all the time. And we'll go to the forest and go run around and go to parks and playgrounds, like
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. Right. I'm more of like the fun type dad. Right. But
Right.
Jen's super super smart, and she's able to go through all this like really technical and scientific type documentation to learn about this, and then she's able to teach me at like a 5th grade level.
I like that. I'm like that.
Yeah.
Please teach me.
Yeah.
Pretend I'm in the 5th grade. It's fine. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
insulted.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not really not insulted. Please.
Not at
Yeah.
all. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true. Oh my gosh.
which
Well,
is
that's
good. So,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah.
That's so great. Before I get on with you,
Yeah.
because I don't know a lot about you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's really
yeah.
cool because
Yeah.
I'm like, this is all new stuff I'm learning. And so of course I go and investigate you a little bit. Only
Yeah.
a tad
Yeah.
though, because
Yeah.
I don't want to over investigate.
Okay, stalker. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was stalking totally. I was trying to hide though. I was trying to
Just a
hide.
creeper, eh?
But on the things that I tell you, you're going to know I was stalking you.
Sure. Yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah.
So I heard you on this, I don't know when it was, if it was recent or whatever. There was
Yeah.
a podcast interview called Pop Rocks.
Oh,
Love
yes.
the.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot about
I'm
that. Yeah,
following them
yeah,
now
yeah.
because I don't even know if they're still going. Are they new? They're still
No,
going?
unfortunately, yeah, it's my
Okay.
buddy Larry, and unfortunately, they had to disband. So they just had too many other things that were going on. But yeah, Larry's a fantastic guy, really, really good friend of mine. He was actually one of the first guys that I actually connected with in the voiceover world, and him and I connected right away. And right after that, then Brad and I connected. And then so like yeah, we've the three of us have done many different things together and helped each other out. And Larry's just a sweetheart of a guy. I love him to death. He's just amazing. He's another guy that I
Yeah.
put on that pedestal right beside Brad. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's wonderful. And now were you doing yourself? Do you have a podcast yourself? Or
No, I'm thinking about doing one. Brad and I have talked about possibly getting into that. That's kind of just something that we've put on the shelf for now. But and then I have another friend of mine who's interested in doing a different podcast specifically for dads who have kids who are on the spectrum. And
yeah.
so we thought about doing something like that just to provide some information and support to people.
Yeah.
But it could happen eventually here in the
Yeah.
future for
That would
sure.
be great.
Yeah.
No, it would be great because listening to you, you definitely when you're sharing things, I pay attention. Like certain
Oh,
people, your
yeah.
voice just has that, you can tell by what you're sharing. So it's, yeah,
Oh,
you
thank you.
think of doing it, I know it's a timing
Yeah.
thing too. It's like, well,
Yes.
maybe next week or maybe next year.
When
Yeah.
can I fit this in my schedule? Yeah.
It's true. I don't think ever, but it'll happen when it's supposed to
When
happen,
it's
right?
supposed to. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So on this pod, I love the 80s, by the way. I just
Yes,
love
me
the
too.
80s.
They're the
Oh my God.
best. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I would love the 80s back. So, but you did mention something that I could relate to. So I was going
Yeah.
to ask you about that. Like when you were younger,
Yeah.
you would wake up, go watch TV cartoons, right?
Yes. Yeah.
As
Yeah.
I remember those days so well.
Yeah.
And, it brought me back. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I
so
remember
much
that.
fun, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And my kids did the same, but it was a little. But now I'm wondering, do kids still do that? Do they get up? Or are they like more digital or?
I think it's more digital. I know my son's more digital. Like even this morning, I'm like, "Hey, Dad's gonna go have a shower, right?" And I just gave him the
Yeah.
phone so he could watch his cartoons for a bit, right,
But
while
he's
I'm in the
still
shower.
watching cartoons, so
He's
that's
still,
important.
yeah, he's
I
still
love
watching cartoons, yeah.
cartoons.
But it's not the same. It's not the same as how we grew up, right? Like that
Right.
nostalgia for it. It was like, I mean, you would go and you get that bowl of, Fruit Loops or,
Right,
whatever,
right.
and you'd
The
sit down,
the most nutritional
yeah,
stuff we had. I
exactly.
loved it.
Cocoa Fruity Pebbles or whatever, right?
Yes, yes. It's
And
true.
you'd sit down and you'd watch your shows, right? It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's up.
It
And
does,
it's
yes.
just you watching cartoons, right? So,
Yes.
I remember that. So it's just like it was yesterday. I remember that. And those mornings were so, they were very special to me. It was
Yes.
just my time, right? And I remember
Yeah.
sitting in my dad's big, huge recliner that he had, and I just got my blanket and I think I had my Care
Yes.
Bear or something like that, and I'm just eating cereal, and
Yeah.
and then you watch the commercials as well, and the commercials were very entertaining and
Right.
obviously very geared towards kids and high
Yeah.
amounts of sugar, right?
Definitely.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was such a different time back then than what kids have
Yeah.
now, right? So
Right. But yeah, because now there's hardly not many commercials too, and I think like you
yeah,
said, the commercials definitely were really cool, and plus we got our
yeah,
Christmas list from the commercials, and be like,
yes,
I
yeah.
want one of those.
Well, or Jen and I were talking about the other day because there's a little catalog that came in the mail that had a bunch of Christmas toys in it, like or like toys for kids, and
Mm-hmm.
we're like, oh my gosh, remember the Sears catalog? Like how amazing that was. We
Yes.
would just sit there and you'd get
It
the
was
Christmas catalog, and you'd go through and you'd like circle the toys that you
yeah.
want. There'd be like 3,000 toys that you pick that you want, and your
Yes.
parents had to narrow it down to what they could afford, right?
It's true.
So
And the book was like what 5 magazines
oh, it
would
was
be
super
today,
thick.
right? It was super thick. I
Yeah, it
love
was
that.
super thick. Yeah, it was
I
great.
know.
Yeah,
I love that. And I'm gonna say this even I came from like I've told you a big Italian family, so
yeah,
of
yeah.
course cooking's great and everything else, but my mom loved TV dinner things when they came
Oh
out.
yeah.
Oh my god. Were they the best? Like, did you ever have
They
them?
actually tasted good though,
They
right?
were
Like they were good. They
right.
were actually real meals, right? And
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. It's not
They
like
were
how they are today where it's like everything's in plastic and the food
I know.
tastes like plastic, right? And it's like, "Oh, that's a really nice brownie I get with this."
I know. I know. They were in metal, but they
Yes,
were
yeah.
bigger, and I
Yeah.
remember having turkey and
Yes.
stuffing and
And the gravy, all
oh,
the fixings, everything like that.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
It was
gosh.
really good.
I
Really
tell
good.
you, those were the days. Kids
Those were
don't
the
know.
days. But I mean, it was still the time where like when you took a flight somewhere, you'd actually get a
Mhm.
full meal on those flights.
Exactly.
I still
Exactly.
remember hopping on an airplane when I was a kid. I was like really young and we were going to Ontario to visit family. and they still allowed smoking on the plane at that time.
Wow.
And they had
Yeah.
those ashtrays and the armrests and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that, but
Yes, I do. Uh-huh.
yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that's how it was, right? So
I
yeah.
know. And like the chocolate bars, come on now. They were huge.
Yeah.
They were ginormous. Now you got this little peanut thing. Anyway.
Oh, I know, exactly. Yeah.
It's very sad. I also caught you. I just wanted to tell you, I caught you on this. The VO padded room. That was
Yes,
Brad, right?
that was Brad and Big Jim. Yeah, yeah.
Loved your Mrs. Doubtfire impression.
That was yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all, and
great.
when they totally caught me off guard.
It was great. Just had to throw that in. You're very good in those accents.
I was like stumbling over my words and everything, and I couldn't get it right. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. And they're like,
Oh, it
buddy,
was
that was
good.
amazing, right? Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun.
It was very good. It was very good. So as far as career goes, like as a kid,
Yeah.
did you have a dream of like, I want to be this when I grow up?
Yeah. I originally, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer, and that was my go-to. And then throughout, like, once I got into acting in like grade two, I think it was grade 2. Yeah, I played Santa in the Christmas play, and it was funny. I had the Santa costume on, but obviously I was a little kid, and I had to get a pillow and stuff a pillow underneath my like jacket so that it looked like I had a big belly.
Right.
And so I'm like in the middle of performing, and the backstage that we had for the stage itself actually fell down, and all the kids are like jumping off the stage. And so that was my first experience in acting. I'm like, this is amazing.
I love this.
And yeah, and then I got into more of the theater and arts and such around grade 5, grade 6.
Mhm.
Absolutely loved it. Loved doing improv. It was so much fun.
Yes.
And then I did theater throughout the rest of junior high and high school, and finished off in grade 12. I played one of the lead roles in Cheaper by the Dozen, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved acting so much, to the point I even remember I had one of my best friends in high school. Her and I, and this is so bad, and if kids are listening, please don't do this. Don't skip school, but I skipped school to go home, and we'd watch. It was so funny. Her and I would watch. Was it Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? It would be so cool if I could be a cop on a soap opera. How cool would that be? That's
all your dreams come true.
My dreams, everything's coming true, and I don't have to get shot at. Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Did that dream come true? Were you a cop on this?
No, unfortunately, when I told my parents my dreams, they're like, yeah, no.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
yeah.
I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go into college or university and take a theater arts program and kind of go down that road. But I was more directed to industry, and that's where everybody kind of directs you to, and well, not everybody, but a lot of folks direct you to industry because it's more of that, and I'll use quotations, a sure thing type thing, right? So
right.
but so I did that for quite a number of years, and I've done many different jobs, everything from working in the oil rigs as a roughneck to driving a Zamboni for hockey rinks.
Wow.
For about 5, almost 6 years, I did hockey rinks for a number of different arenas around Edmonton.
I love the Zamboni.
Yeah.
I think I love the name Zamboni. Yeah. I think I just love to say it.
It's
very peaceful, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's a fun. It really is a fun job. I really enjoyed it, and the funniest parts was like when you're driving the Zamboni close to the boards to get all the snow from the edges there, and then you'll see some kids on the other side of the glass, and they're just like licking the glass. I'm like, oh. Buddy, you have no idea what's on there. That's so gross.
It didn't just fall from the sky,
no,
all right?
No, it really didn't. It really didn't. Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh. That is too funny.
That was an interesting career to be in for a while. And then, I worked for some other big telecommunication companies for a while. And I worked one of the best jobs I ever had was a meter reader. Where I'd actually go out and I'd read power meters on people's houses and out in the oil field and all that. Love that job. Great job, but got taken over by technology, and that's the way it is. So, and then for the past I want to say close. Well, it's definitely over a decade now. I've been working as a in the occupational health and safety field, doing that for everything from construction to healthcare, oil and gas, fabrication, manufacturing, all that kind of stuff. Every kind of
Mm-hmm.
industry you can think of, basically, right? And so it's been a interesting career. I can't say it's really a career for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I've done it because it's paid the bills.
Exactly. It's called the stopgap job. You call
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
Right? Right?
yeah,
You have this job because I also work a full-time
yeah.
job while I'm doing the things I'm passionate about.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. We all have to do that, right? And I mean,
Right.
it's to just jump ship and say like, okay, I'm going to do video now. It's like, oh,
Right.
are you sure?
Right. Are you sure?
You
Are you
gotta.
set up for it?
Yeah,
That's the
that's right.
whole
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You are.
When I was doing full-time VO and acting on camera and all that, I had gotten laid off. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my choice. See,
That's
that's
right.
easy.
That's
Well,
easy. That's a
not
different
really
one.
easy, but easy. Yeah.
Yep.
Because then you don't really then you're like, all right, I'm gonna put myself into this whole
Yeah.
thing. And then,
Yeah.
and then COVID hit and that's a whole different
Yep.
story. But
Oh man. Yeah. COVID.
everything
Good
closed
times.
and I'm like, oh my God. But
Yeah.
so all right, so you have this that you do, and how did you
Yes.
get into give me your rest of your journey, like how you got to the
Yeah. So
voiceover.
basically, I was working for a oil and gas company, and this training uh, instructor that we had, or she built all the background like training modules and such for e-learning, and she had said to me, can you voice this one e-learning project for me? And I said, oh, sure, cool, that sounds good.
Wow.
And she's like, do you know of a program that'll work? I'm like, yeah, I think Audacity. I seem to remember that before, right? Because I was in radio broadcasting for a while as well.
Oh, right,
And so
yes.
during that time, we used a program called Cool Edit Pro,
Mhm.
but I had heard of Audacity, and so we downloaded that, and I recorded the session. The e-learning program that she wanted me to read was called Musculoskeletal Injuries. And if Debbie Irwin, who was one of our mentors that we had, she always tells me, yeah, no, that's wrong. You're reading that wrong.
She's great, is she
She's
not?
fantastic. I
She's
love her. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. She's so fun. She's so fun.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, that's Debbie. That's how we say it in Canada. Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Things are said a little differently. I know. When she says things, I think I get off with her and I go,
Yeah.
I can do it. I can do
Yeah.
it. And
And
no,
then
I
you
can't.
try.
No, I
Yeah.
cannot.
Yeah. You try, and you're like, oh yeah, no.
I know. I know. I did medical transcription.
Yeah.
I had my own little business, and I
Oh,
thought, well,
cool.
of course
Yeah.
I could do this, right? Of
Yeah.
course I can do
Yeah.
medical voiceover.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's not. No, it's challenging. I mean, those,
It's
and
very challenging.
you really have to investigate into those words and figure out how do you actually pronounce those. And even if
Exactly.
you go off of YouTube, which is not always correct, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a challenging
It's
field of
challenging.
work for sure. So
It is.
so
It is.
yeah, so I did that, and I got a lot of good compliments from senior leadership about the e-learning project that I completed, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then she said to me, she says, geez, like, you got a really good voice. You should try and get into voice acting. And I said, well, I wanted to get into like VO work back in 2003 when I was working in radio. And the program director that I had at that time, he's like, yeah, right. Good luck. Right.
Oh,
I was like, oh, well, thanks for crushing my
thanks.
dreams.
Thanks for your encouragement.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Exactly. So, and at that time too, I mean, he wasn't wrong to a point, because there was like a select few group of people, like I think there was like maybe 25 top people that actually did voiceover
Okay.
throughout like all of North America. Like it was a pretty tight market. But as the internet started to expand and grow, and then you start to get all these pay to plays coming in and different freelance sites and all that, it opened up a lot of opportunity for people. And so this lady had said to me, well, check out like Upwork is one her daughter had used. And she said, try ACX as well for audiobooks. So I'm like, cool, I'll try those out. I auditioned. Within 2 weeks, I ended up getting work. And I'm like, holy crap, this is cool. And
Yeah.
I did it literally on like a shoestring budget. I had like no money. I bought like a Yeti mic, which I know some people might be like, oh my gosh, you used a Yeti? I don't care. I was starting out and I was doing
Right.
freelance, right? I knew
Exactly.
nothing at that moment. And to be quite honest, the way that USB mics have actually improved now, there's a lot of good USB mics out there, and they at a good affordable rate that sound pretty decent, especially
There
when you're
are.
starting out.
This one
right?
is USB.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it sounds good, right? So anyways, I used my Blue Yeti that I had, and did quite a few projects. I was getting audiobooks and online advertisements and YouTube channels, and just lots of stuff was coming through. I was like, this is really cool, a lot of fun. And when I say like shoestring budget, like my
Yeah.
booth,
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I make a booth? Because I knew from radio that I needed to have something to block out the sound.
Yeah.
So I went to good old Canadian Tire up here in Canada, and I bought one of those Rubbermaid totes.
Oh,
I took the lid off, obviously, and then I filled
yeah.
the inside of the tote with a single mattress foam. I just used some whatever adhesive spray and put everything in there. I had to make sure I didn't stick my head in afterwards, otherwise I would have got high.
You admit that,
Yeah,
yes.
it would have been a totally different voiceover at that time.
Totally different.
So I put that all in, and then I had a moving blanket, and I strapped the moving blanket onto it with bungee cords, and then I had a ratchet strap that I took the box itself and ratchet strapped it to an old table that we had.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had a iPad, and I put my Yeti inside there and my iPad in there, and I put the moving blanket over, and that's how I did my first audiobook.
That is awesome. That
Cost me
is
$30
so
bucks.
ingenious. Oh my God. That is so ingenious. I love it. I absolutely love it. An audiobook, can we just say for anyone who doesn't know, you're not in there for like an hour.
No.
You're talking a very long
Yes,
time.
very long time. And I'm like, I had to take breaks because it was so hot in there. It was so hot. I mean, it's a small, like Rubbermaid tote.
Yes.
And I'm in there, and oh man, it was so small. And then after that, I
Oh my
upgraded. I had
gosh.
I had a like the house that I was living at. We had a like an in-wall unit type bookshelf type thing
Yeah.
that the previous people had put in, but I had nothing in there, and it had a light in it. I'm like, huh.
Ooh, an upgrade.
Yeah, so I went and stuck my head in, and it sounded a little boxy. I'm like, I can fix that, and I put a bunch of padding in, and then that was my next booth that I did a number of projects on.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah,
it's
you do.
you just
You
kind
have
of
to
keep
start
growing.
that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's important to know, because even nowadays, it's like, don't go and get some ridiculous booth. You're just
Yeah.
starting out. Like,
Yeah.
really just do that. I was first in my own closet.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
the clothes. I was
Yes,
like, okay,
that helps.
but I was
Yeah.
sweating. I had my
Yeah.
laptop. I'm like, oh my God. Then I moved to another closet.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was just like, when I think about it, I was so stressed every time I had to do something, because I had to make sure I had it all set up right. Because you're not staying there. I wasn't staying in the closet.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
then-
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally this room, but this wasn't, I would say this is maybe 6 years ago. Maybe a little
Really?
more.
Yeah.
Maybe a
It's
little
awesome.
more.
I love your
Maybe a little
booth. Like
more.
your room
Thank
is on
you.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. I was thankful somebody had done this for me. It just came along at that time. It was a little more than that. Maybe it was when I was 2017 when I started to go, okay, now I'm really going to get
No,
into
I'm really going to get into it. Yeah.
because I don't have to sweat to death. It still gets hot in here, but it's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
But you
that's
do have
good.
to step up. I had different mics. I had the USB. I had other one, whatever works at the time,
Yes.
know.
Yeah. Exactly.
But audiobooks, man, I do not. That's not in my wheelhouse. I'm just not an
Yeah.
audiobook person. But that's involved, so that's
It
I
is.
give you kudos for that.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. I
Yeah.
like storytelling. It's fun.
Yeah.
It depends on the type of story too.
Mhm.
What I found for myself, anyways, that was the easiest for me to do were things like personal development or finance. As much as like it's boring for me, but it's
Right,
I can do it
right.
and it sounds good, right? I guess I just have that type
Right.
of voice. Um,
Yeah.
but I'd
Right.
love to get into like some children books here now,
Mhm.
and I'd like to try some get more into the character aspect of things. Is kind of
Yeah.
the direction that I want to go. So I'm starting to look at more of the sci-fi fantasy type stuff as well, and see where
That's
that
cool.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't do the what is the other one that they have on there on ACX there? It's like X-rated type books. Can't do that.
Yeah, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't get, yeah, I don't think I could do those either. I don't know.
No.
There are people who are just very good at doing those.
Oh, they are. Yeah. And I mean, I follow quite a few people on Instagram and all that who
Yeah.
do that, and they get paid very well for it.
Right.
If you can do it and not laugh, you're
Right.
a pro. That's awesome.
I know.
I couldn't even get past the first
Maybe
like
you could
paragraph.
just get like
Yeah.
romance ones that are not
Yeah.
quite X-rated. Those might
Right,
not.
right.
Then you won't laugh, right? Then
No,
maybe
I
it could
still
be just-
laughed. Yeah. I still can't. I'm like a 10-year-old boy. I'm like,
You're like, I can't believe I'm saying this. Am I
I
saying
know.
this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so funny. That is really great. I love that. Oh my gosh. So, now I want to talk about how we met.
Yes,
The VO
yeah.
Academy.
Yeah.
So I want to know. So the how did you what made you think of the VO Academy, and tell me, like, what inspired you for this? And
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
us.
Well, I mean, I think I think my road is along the same path as what many of us would go through, where, we're doing this as kind of a part-time thing. We'd like to get into it full-time and do more with it, and leave our 9 to 5s. Maybe we don't like our jobs, whatever the case may be. And so, I mean, I've been striving for that for quite some time, to be honest, to get away from that 9 to 5. But what I was finding, even when I came into the voiceover world itself, I was like, man, there's so much information out there. There's tons. Like, you
Mhm.
definitely, and I mean, you can go and do this on your own. Absolutely, you can.
Mhm.
However, you're
Mhm.
going to be bombarded with tons of information that you just like your head's going to explode, right?
Exactly.
Everybody has a different idea and take on how things should be done, how things should be read, how your mic setup is, how your booth is, your levels, how you pronounce certain things, whatever the case may be. There's so much education out there.
Mhm.
And so what I was finding, it was just so overwhelming, and the cost associated with it too. Again, even though I had a full-time job, I still had a mortgage, I still had bills to pay, I had all this kind of stuff
Mhm.
I could not afford. And this is not a knock at any of those coaches and mentors out there
Mhm.
at all, because
Mhm.
the majority of them that are out there, what they're charging is high quality stuff, and you're going to get what you pay for, right? um,
Mhm.
but I couldn't afford 5 grand, for some of
Right.
these, right? Or three
Mhm.
grand even, or even at that time, $150 an hour for an hour session.
Exactly, because those you basically, when you're gonna start coaching,
Yeah.
you're not gonna just do one coaching session.
No, no,
It's,
you
like,
don't learn everything.
ongoing.
Yeah, it's ongoing.
Right.
And then the flip
Mhm.
side of that too, because I did pay for some coaching from
Mhm.
some folks, and I was like, I found we didn't jive, right? Like, they're just the
Right.
connection just wasn't there,
Right.
and I couldn't really learn from that person. And to me, I was like, ah, man, I don't like to say wasted, but I basically just gave
Right.
away that $150 or whatever, right,
Mhm.
for that training, and I didn't really gain any
Mhm.
value from it. And I didn't
Right.
like that. I didn't like that. So I'm like, what can I do here? There's tons of groups. I was already running another group called the Voiceover Society at that time as well, and it was a free group, and I was running that, and I'm like, I need something else here. I need something else. So I started kind of brainstorming with my wife, and we are chatting about things, and then all of a sudden this like name popped up in my head, and it was like VO Academy. I'm like, whoa,
Mm.
cool. That's really cool. I like that. And I
Yeah.
told her that, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna make a logo for you right now. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And so she made that logo that we use, and it's just like a shield with the VO in it, right, and a microphone.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's amazing. That looks really good. And I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? This was in November of 2020.
Wow.
And I'm like, what are we going to do? When am I going to launch this? And so again, we're kind of spitballing some ideas. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. I talked to my buddy, Larry, who was on the Pop Rocks podcast guy
Mhm.
there. And I said, he's got, I said, Larry, you got a lot of experience with, character work and working on camera and all that kind of stuff. Can you come in and we'll do like a character read session for the month of January? And he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, how are we going to do this? He's like, I don't know. I'm like,
We're
oh
just gonna
dear.
go. Just go with it.
So we got all this going. I got everything launched, ready to go. Kind of figured out, a foundation of how I was going to put this into place. And then we launched it in January. And I'm like, it didn't matter at that point. I was like, it didn't matter if it flops, even though I knew it wasn't going to flop,
Mhm.
but we'll just continuously get better, and we'll continuously start
Right.
to like build on those foundations and make sure that they're concrete.
Mhm.
How was I going to, provide a service to people at an affordable rate? That was my main focus, right?
Right.
I'm definitely not a mentor. I'm not a coach. I'm not, I've been in the industry for a while, but I don't feel I'm at that level. So I was like, okay, let's bring in different people each month, and we'll focus on a different genre. Okay, who do I talk to? And then I started going through the list and trying to figure. And I had such a wonderful group of people that I met throughout the voiceover world itself, that I was able to pull from those friends to be like, okay, can you help me with audiobooks? Can you help me with e-learning? Can you help us with audio
Wow.
engineering? They're like, yep, absolutely, let's do this, right? I'm like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, you guys are amazing. So everybody helped me out with that. The first year was basically just that, just trying to build it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did really good. And my rate, the founder's rate itself at the beginning for just the month of January was $15. And I had US, and I had, I think 25 or 28 people jump in right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now I really
Wow.
have to, I really have to provide something, right? And
They're expecting
they're
something
expecting
now.
something now.
What were they thinking?
Exactly. Yeah. So I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but it evolved over time here. And I mean, now we have, I do an interview with the mentor. Again, it's a different mentor each and every month on whatever genre or style or purpose of VO, things like even, trying to um, diversify your voiceover portfolio. So what does that mean? Well, what else are you doing rather than just doing pay-to-play sites? How,
Mm,
are you doing things on YouTube? Are you trying to be that
right.
voice of the company? Are you talking to local businesses to let them know what it is that you actually provide? And instead of just being like, hey, I'm a voiceover talent, most of these businesses are like, what is that? Right. So it's like,
Right.
I'm a marketing service for you. I can provide you voiceover. I can provide you video content. I can provide you all this kind of stuff that you can put onto your website, social media. I can take care of your social media platform if you want. There's all this stuff that you can do. Right. So we've had mentors like that come in to be able to basically give us more tools in our VO tool belt is what I like
Mm-hmm.
to call it. Right. Because we are not just voice talent. We are
Mm-hmm.
so much more to that, right? We do all our own audio engineering. We do all our own editing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you would think of that needs to be done for production, we take care of. We do our marketing. The majority of our time is spent marketing, right?
Right. Right.
So these are all things that I bring in specialists to come and chat with us about. And even the folks who are like, the like Mark Cashman was in here just a little while ago, if I can do some name dropping here.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he's been in the business for 40 years,
Right.
what a wealth of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge this man was. This is the
Mm-hmm.
second time he's come in. This year he actually was like, I really would love to come back and mentor. I'm like, yeah, how's your October?
Yes. It was great. I was in that
Yeah.
group. It was so
Oh, it
awesome.
was
So
amazing.
really,
Yeah.
really beyond. Let me interject for a
Sure.
second
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
want to say I'm only in it a month. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
after I finally found you again
Yeah.
and decided that, okay, let me go for it. The coolest part that I love is like I was investigating, I had seen you.
Yeah.
You did an info
Yep.
session, which is great. Do
Yeah.
more of those because
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that was my divine intervention. I'm like, because I
Yeah.
was thinking about it, and then there you were. Let me go ask some questions. And then even then I put it off a little and you're like, so, hey, what's happening? Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to join. Let me
Yeah.
come in, because you weren't pushy by any means, but you
No.
were my reminder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I love that because there's so much happening.
There
And
is. Yeah.
even if you have it written down, you're like, oh, let me do that tomorrow
Yeah.
or something like that. But seriously, I'm not making this up. Anyone who knows me will know I don't promote anything I don't believe in
Right.
100%.
Ah.
I'm just that person. So if
Yeah.
I love it, I'm going to share it with people who aren't even in voiceover. They don't just let, I have my cousins I'm telling all about it. They don't even do it. They're like, okay, great.
All right.
But it is so, you know what it is? I've been told throughout my voiceover career, you need to have more fun. You need to have more,
Yeah.
you're not having fun because I'm all about stress. It has to
Yeah.
sound right. It has to do this.
Yes.
I will tell you, and I'm not kidding you, this is the first time I'm having fun. And
Oh
it
my
sounds
gosh.
terrible. I mean, I
That's
love
amazing.
voiceover. Don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong. I love voiceover. I
Yeah.
love doing it. I
Yeah.
love session, but I'm always like not completely myself having fun. I will
Oh,
tell you,
okay.
this is the
Yeah.
first time. I actually am so excited. And I think it's because you made me do an English accent. Once I did that, everything else just
Yeah.
went to, out the window. So, but
beautiful.
that really, you know what I mean? The group
Yeah.
was so welcoming. The
Yeah.
very first one, you never know what to expect, right? So
Yep.
the very first one I got in there, I felt like I knew them forever. They were so welcoming.
Yeah, they're great people.
The direction is amazing.
Yeah.
And you stretch, which is what the point is.
That's the
Whereas
purpose.
when you're right, we're by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we don't stretch ourselves that much if we're by
No.
ourselves.
You get stuck in a never-ending loop, right? Especially if you're
Exactly.
doing one audition after another, every audition is pretty much the same in
Exactly.
reality, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
And you get in your head. But really, seriously, it's only my first month. I'm loving it because I'm having a good time. I'm not feeling awkward now if I
Good.
do have, after the accent. I'm not feeling awkward about anything else now.
Yeah.
Can't get worse than that. And and it's just like really great. So it's such like I said, it came at a perfect time when I was like, I need something. I
Yep.
just need something,
And that's the purpose behind it, right? We wanted something that was warm and inviting
Yes.
to bring people in and to be a safe place to practice
Mm-hmm.
with your peers, right? I mean, who
Yes.
better to practice than with your peers? And then on top of that, after I do the interview, I mean, you have 4 script read sessions with your peers. throughout the month,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then we have a Q&A with our mentor of that month. And then at the end of the month, we always have a final script read with our mentor, where it's
Mm-hmm.
just our mentor providing those critiques and that support for the individual, right?
Right.
Everybody gets to read, no matter what.
Right.
That's the intent behind this. If you come to our session, you will get to read.
Right.
And we try and do the best that we can with, okay, scheduling it in, Anne, you're going to be this spot. Richard, you'll be next.
Yes.
And, Mo, you'll be after that, whatever the case may be. Just so you kind of have an idea of when that's going to be taking place, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we have a private Facebook group. That's how we originally started with everything as well, and only the members get access to that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I've during the session that you took part in here, I told everybody like my account got hacked. Everything got I lost everything, and so I
Oh,
had to
yeah.
rebuild everything. Luckily, I'm so thankful that I did this. So I always had everything backed up on my Google Drive, but I also set up what's a Trello board as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was already finding that Facebook, I had so much content in there from 2021 all the way up until now. And it was really hard to organize it on Facebook. So I set up a Trello board, and the Trello board is beautiful. It's all set up, year to year.
Mm-hmm.
We got spotlights in there, tons of extra tools and videos for training and support, connections to audio engineers to be able to help you out at a discounted rate, a little picture about who all the facilitators and the members of the VO Academy team are as well. So you can reach out to all of us individually if you want. We really try and make this very, very warm and welcoming and a place that people want to keep coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about this is that the rate itself is $25 a month US. That's it. That's it.
It's
And it's not going up.
crazy.
I played around with the price point when the past couple of years here. I found I brought it up to 44 because I was trying to be competitive. But I found as soon as I did that, I think I got like maybe 4 or 5 people that joined, and then they just went off to something else. And that's totally okay too.
Mm-hmm.
The rest that stayed on at that 44 rate, I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't feeling good. And so I had a meeting with the team, and I'm like, I want to change the price point down to $25 a month. That's it. And I said, it's never going to raise up. It's going to stay at that price.
That's great.
And they're like, yeah, let's try it out. And I tried it. As soon as I dropped that price down, and I switched the people that I had left over at 44 because they're not paying 44 anymore. I'm like, hey guys, here we go. Let's drop you down to this. It's like, there's only 3 people getting screwed over. Eh?
That's all right. Hey, that's the way it goes.
Oh, damn. I let that out of the bag. No. Just kidding. No. Yeah. So everybody's at 25 now. It's fantastic. I started getting more people rolling into it. I started to push more on social media, all organic as well. Like I schedule all these posts out and push everything out. I've been, like you said, when I followed up with you, I do that with a lot of other people too. And it's not a push to be like an all salesy, because I hate that. I absolutely hate that. But it's more of like, hey, how you doing? Try and have a conversation with them, build that relationship up, right? So, and see if they have any interest, and just keep pushing out stuff on social media. And I found people are like, yeah, I really want to do this. And they jump on board, right? Which is great.
Exactly.
So I have a lot of big plans on where I want the VO Academy to go, and the support that I want to be able to give all our members as well. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there for sure. It's just going to take a little bit more time, right? So, but we got a
So
good
that was one
process.
of my questions. Do you want to share any of that? Like where you see it going, or is that kind of like?
Oh yeah, no, it's
good.
not secret. No, I want it to be basically like a one-stop shop. Is what my goal is. Now, if all these ideas come to fruition, fantastic. If they don't, that's okay too. It'll always have the core foundation of what we've always done. But I want to have professionals within the VO Academy who specialize in building demos and giving a discounted rate demo production to members only, right? I want to be able to have other teaching programs put in place, things like a beginner program, right? Where we have a separate one that you can go and take those courses and such. And so I know Mo's been talking a lot about that.
Nice.
I would love to be able to be more connected, and that is my goal, to be more connected with like agencies and what's the name of them? Casting directors. That's a big one. Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah. Those, the people who give us jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of important, Cory. Don't mess that up. Yeah. So I'd love to have more connection with casting directors, and casting sites as well. And because we have so much talent in this group. so much talent.
Yeah.
And we have people
Really.
who are their careers are starting to expand and grow and explode, which is fantastic to see. But I want every single person in the VO Academy to have that experience. Every
Mm-hmm.
single person. We're all so talented. Everybody has a voice. And what's very interesting to me, because I've had some people come in and be like, I've had coaches tell me that I don't have a voice for voiceover and my voice sucks and all that. I'm like, no, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Anybody who tells you that is wrong.
Mm.
Every single person has a voice, and it's a unique voice.
Mm-hmm.
And their voice is going to be picked up from a certain casting director for a certain project, and their life is going to explode with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've had people come in and who have had that from past mentors, and which is really unfortunate. That should never happen. If you as a mentor can't actually coach that person for whatever the reason is, simply say that and then refer them to another mentor.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But never, ever, ever shoot that person's confidence down. Right.
No.
Because now, this individual came into our group and we had to build them back up. And that's something that I'm very proud that we do. Like, our focus is a 3-to-1 ratio. So when we critique our fellow members, it's like, okay, I love that you did this, this, and this. This is an area that I want to see you improve on. Or why don't we do this and try it this way instead, right? Or throw in an accent, or be more bubbly, or smile, or whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
And that's the focal point for our group, because it's not just all about critiquing and showing you what you did wrong, because that's not wrong. It's you took the script and you interpreted it a certain way, you presented it. And now what we're doing is, as a team, is coming together and being like, hey, I like that you did this, this, and this, but we're going to try this. How about this? Or the script actually is calling for this, so why don't we add that in there instead? We're actually coaching. We're actually supporting you. That's the purpose of growth. And that's the purpose of this community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do. I can't even say enough about it, really. And like I said, I've been around for a little while. So, and I've had very good ones. Like you said, there's very good coaches. I've been in very many, good things. But what I love is, like, it's so funny. I love it because it's, you can have now, so it's Wednesday evenings, right?
Yeah. Usually Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings.
And Saturday.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time frames, because that's what I was concerned about too. I'm like, what time frame? What are we talking about? Eastern? Where are we? So Wednesday night for me is 8:00. By that, I'm shot by then, but I get on.
Yeah.
But I get on because it's like so rejuvenating,
It is.
and it's so funny. So I've been trying to do, if I can, I do both. Like in the week, I'll do Wednesday, Saturday. But I like the options. You do a free session or no?
Yeah. We do a free session as well every month. Yeah, every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that group that I used to have called the Voiceover Society, I was running it out of there, but then I found it was kind of redundant. I wasn't really doing much with that group anyway. So I thought, I'm just going to close that one off. I'm going to keep everything in the VO Academy, and we're going to do a free script read on a monthly basis. So it's the first Tuesday of each month.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know, because I know some people who might want to try that out. And just because you know what, I think it's really good to just see that. Like to see it and go like, okay.
And that's just it. It's just a little taste of what it is that we provide. Bring a script if you have or not. Either myself or one of the facilitators will provide a script for you.
That's great.
And as if you decide to come into the VO Academy after that, it's a really easy setup. I take care of all that stuff for you, and you just connect with me, and we go from there, right?
That's perfect. And you advertise that they would see it by connecting with you or something, or following the VO
following with the VO
Academy.
Academy. Yeah. I mean, we're on all the social media platforms, right? I have the link for the VO Academy. It's just voacademy.ca. And you go there and you can get access to our group, right? So, like I said, super affordable, and it's a lot of fun, right? That's the main thing. I like that you said that you're having fun with this, because that filled me with a lot of joy. Because
it's so true, Cory. It's so true.
Really cool.
I'm not kidding you. Like almost every coach I've had over the years is like, okay, you need to have a little more fun. Trying to have fun.
I'm just
I can't. I'm too tired to have fun. I'm focusing on like not being, because I came from radio as well, which I thought it was going to help me.
Yeah. No, you have to retrain yourself when you're in radio. Yeah.
So I love that as it progressed, and it took a long time.
Yeah.
I never heard the same thing anymore. Like, it was the radio. They'd be like, you did radio. Yes. And then finally, I don't never hear that anymore. Never. And there's things that now I don't hear that I used to hear, which is so cool, because it means you're progressing,
It is.
But really, to have fun is so important. And I've heard it before, and I'd be like, I don't have time for fun. I just need to get this done.
I just need to get it done. I got to move on to the next thing. Yeah.
I need to move on. I need to get it right. That's all I need. Meanwhile, I thought I was such a fun person and realized I'm not that fun.
Oh, you're a lot of fun. You fit perfect in our group. I've loved you from the first time that
Oh,
we
thank
talked and
you.
in Brad's group there, and then you coming into our sessions. I mean, you just clicked automatically
Oh,
with everybody,
oh, I'm
and
so
the
happy
the most
about it.
beautiful thing about this is that you're not afraid to try things. You get out of
Right,
your own
good.
way, and that's one of the most like the toughest thing that anybody
Yeah.
ever can do is try and get out of their own way because and it
Mhm.
is challenging and we have a
Yeah.
lot of brand new people coming in as well, never done voiceover, and
Right.
they're like, "You want me to do what?" It's like,
Yes.
"Yeah, why don't you
Yes.
try this and throw an accent in?" And
Yeah.
so if they get really uncomfortable with that, we're like, "You know what? Turn off your camera. Turn off your camera so
Yes.
we can't see you." Okay.
Exactly.
And that helps a lot of people as well. Again, we want this to be a very comfortable community for you to be able to learn and grow.
Yes.
And eventually you get to the point where it's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And you just go out and you have fun. Because again, if you're not having
Yeah.
fun, what's the point of all this?
Right.
Right? I mean, we're all
Right.
doing this because we love to do it.
Mhm.
So if you love to do it, shouldn't you be having fun with it?
Right,
Right?
exactly, exactly. Even if it takes you 10 years to
Yeah.
figure it out. Or
It's all good. It's
It's
all
so
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really, I'm so thankful, really. It's like I said, divine intervention for sure
Yeah.
for that. So I was I'm gonna post all these links so people
Yeah.
can find you
Sure.
and
Yeah.
all that because it's so important. And then so as I was stalking, no, I
Yeah.
wasn't stalking because I'm connected now. So I saw you
Yeah.
post
It's
this.
totally fine. Totally fine. I get it. Yeah.
Um, so there was this quote you posted.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't say the author's name. You'll have to say it when I get to the end, but I'm going to read it for a quick
Yeah.
second. It says, "Maybe the journey isn't about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so that you can be who you were meant to be in the first place." That makes me want to
Yes.
cry.
Yeah.
So how do you say that, Paulo?
I think it's
Uh,
uh,
I don't even know.
Polo
We're not going to
Calo,
say it.
Palo Calo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll go
something
with
like that.
that. Yeah.
We'll go
Polo
with
Colo.
that. Yeah, yeah. I think Paulo's right, so we'll go with that alone. It'd be like Cher,
Yeah.
Paulo.
Yeah. Right
But
on.
that was so that made me wanna cry because I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, that's" right? So
Yeah.
what does that mean to you? Why did that speak to you so
Oh
much?
boy. Well, I'm going through, like everybody does. We go through different seasons in our lives, right?
Mhm,
And we go through storms, and then we have those sunny days and all that too, right?
mhm,
And so I find now, especially over the past, I want to say 10 years of getting into personal development and doing therapy and going through all my baggage and such, and still still more to go through, just like most people, right?
Yes, yes.
But it really made me realize that I need to continue peeling back those layers of who
Mhm,
I thought I was to actually become who I'm supposed to be.
mhm,
And that, even just talking about that and talking about that post just gives me shivers because it just means so much to me, right? There's
mhm,
so much that I have to offer people, and so much love to give and
mhm,
support, and the reason I do all of this in a big way is because I know what it's like not to have people believe in you. I know
mhm,
what it's like to have people stomp on your dreams. I know what it's like to have people ridicule you and call you down and, just make you feel worthless, right? I
mhm,
never want anybody to feel that way because I know
mhm,
what that feels like, and that's not right. And so that's my goal and my purpose is to keep pushing forward with that. And that's again coincides with the foundation of the VO Academy. There's no room for any of that negativity. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion.
mhm,
There's nothing like that. It is literally come in and let's have some fun and learn, you know?
mhm, mhm.
So that quote hit really hard with me and just continues. I mean, I have it up on my Facebook page here in one of my, pictures, and I have it on my phone. I've actually posted it onto my phone as well. And just so I have it
Good.
there and it's readily available for me to look at all the time. That one just came to me and I was like, just like everything else, like you said, divine intervention type thing, right?
Yeah,
It just comes in and it's
yeah,
like, holy, this is exactly what I needed right at this moment.
yes, yeah,
And so I just continue to read that because it allows me to center myself and realize, okay, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Where am I going? Am I staying on
right,
track, or am I going off the sidelines a bit and starting to go into the dark shadows again?
right.
and that's the place that nobody wants to be in. And to be honest, like I was in the dark shadow aspect of things here last week. It was a very bad, I had a bad few days, right? But it's, everybody goes through that, everybody.
Right.
And I think it's important for all of us to recognize that and to share with your friends, to share. I've shared stuff on social media as well, where I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't share your personal stuff. Oh, then don't look at it then.
Right,
Move on,
exactly.
right? But
Exactly.
I'm sharing my personal journey and things that I've faced and traumas that I've had and ways that I'm getting over it in hopes, one, it's therapeutic for me because I'm getting it out. And two,
Right.
my hope is that it's going to be able to reach somebody who's maybe going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe has never had any kind of support. Maybe has
Right.
always felt neglected and not wanted. And when they see this stuff, they're like, holy crap, somebody else is going through that. Okay, I can keep going. I can keep going. Right.
Right.
That's the purpose of all this stuff. Right. In my opinion, anyways. So yeah, it's a very, very powerful quote, and I
It
can go down
is.
a long road of this and
Yes.
talk
No.
about personal feelings and development and being vulnerable, which is something that I'm still trying to really learn to do, and it's tough. It's very, very hard. But on the
It
flip
is.
side of all this, folks, on the flip side, all the struggles and the successes that I've had throughout the way, it all folds into what it is that I'm doing for my businesses, right? Voiceover and for the VO Academy. It helps me to be a better actor. It helps me to be a better listener as well. I mean, I have a team now, and everything that we have team weekly team meetings and such. And I don't want to just be the one who's making the full on decision here. I want to hear from everybody. What are all your thoughts, right? And so there's a lot of what I've learned that's flowing over into my business side, and it's helping me, right?
That's
And I
wonderful.
don't make all the best decisions, absolutely not,
None of
right?
us do.
But my focus is to learn from that as
Yes.
well, and just to try and be a better person. That's my main goal, is to be a better person, be somebody of service, to be able to help another person get up out of those trenches type thing to get to the level that they want. And if I'm able to support them in whatever way that I can, man, that right there that's a huge success, and just something that fills my heart with so much joy. So yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And you really are a wonderful leader because you are caring and nurturing. You can see it. I could feel it,
Well,
from
thank
you.
you.
And you also do give, like you said, everyone else the opportunity to lead at certain times when they're doing whatever they're doing, and their input is important because
Very much so.
that's really
Yeah.
the best leader,
Yeah, it's not the
Um
Cory show, that's for sure. Even though right now it feels like
it
it
could
is,
be.
but
It is now. It
it's
certainly is.
which is still so weird
And
to
it
me.
will
It's
be
yeah.
for, while they start posting all your stuff.
Funny.
But it's true, and it's really wonderful, and I really love that.
Uh,
So I do have a signature question. You kind
yes.
of answered a lot, and you don't have to add
Oh,
anything
okay.
new if you don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
But my
yeah.
question is
Mhm.
always, I'd like to ask, can you share a moment in your life or
Yeah.
career when you had to show resilience, or you experienced divine intervention, or
Mm,
had to pivot in a big way? And you have told me a lot, but is there
yeah.
anything else?
Oh gosh, I'm going through that right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to share some stuff with people, and hopefully you guys are okay with me sharing this. But
Oh,
anyways,
yes. Yes.
so with my health and safety career that I've been in, it's a very, very stressful job, very, very high
Mhm.
stress. And like most people, I have trauma that I grew up with, and trying to work through that over the years.
Mhm.
And I found in July of this year, I was like, after having multiple arguments with leadership in the company that I was working with, and actually being told, when you told me that I was a very good leader, that hit me very, very hard in the heart. And I want to thank you very much for that,
Oh.
because I was told at this job that I failed as a leader. And I was blown away by that. I've
No.
never in my entire career of being in a leadership role have I ever been told that.
No.
And that destroyed me. It
Oh
destroyed
my
me.
goodness.
And I woke up one morning and I'm like, I can't do this. I
Mhm.
cannot do this. My brain just can't go there.
Mhm.
And I can't fight another day. I can't keep doing this. And so I went on stress leave. And I was on stress leave until last week is when I ended up getting my stress leave was canceled for a really silly reason, but whatever. And so I'm being forced to go back to work now. And I was talking with Jen, and I said, thinking about going back to work just fills me with so much anxiety, so
Mm-hmm.
much anger. I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it.
Right.
And so we talked about it some more and figured out, a budget of how we can do things. And there's some other online um, um, work that I can do and such as well that'll
Mm-hmm.
actually cover off those bills. So yeah, so I'm going to make the jump and
Right.
pivot and
Oh,
focus
great.
solely on the VO Academy, focus on my VO business, and then work at this other online job on the side as
Oh,
well, just to pay for the
wonderful.
bills for that time being. The goal that I've always had with the VO Academy is to get me out of my 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
That is my goal. And I don't sugarcoat that. It is a business. It's where I want it to be. I have a level that I want it to get at,
Mm-hmm.
in order to have members come in, to get me to that point, right? And then once that's up and running, I don't have to worry about any other jobs like that. I can solely focus
Mm-hmm.
on the VO Academy and focus on my voiceover business and do things that I
Yes.
love. I love. I'm 46,
Yes.
turning 47 here.
Yeah.
It's time for me to do things that I love to do, things that fill me with joy,
Mm-hmm.
not things that fill me with anxiety and fear and just uh, hate. Like I
Exactly.
know that's a very strong word, but it's very
No, but
much how I
it's,
feel, right? So
yeah.
yeah, so that's very much, when you talk about adversity and trying to pivot and change things. That's everybody goes through that, I believe. It's just a certain point in their life, and right
Mm-hmm.
now I'm going through that, and it's scary and it's
Mm-hmm.
the unknown.
Right.
But the flip side of that, if I do need to go back to a 9 to 5, then I'll find a 9 to 5 later on. But let's give this a try
Exactly.
again and keep it going, right? So
Exactly. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. This is like perfect. Like, and I know none of this. This is
yeah,
what's funny, right? Like, this is genuine, right?
yeah,
Because I know this is definitely divine intervention. You even hearing this because I knew none of this,
mhm,
and so it is truly. I mean, I'm so thankful that those are the words that popped into my head to ask
yeah,
you
yeah,
because it's meant for a reason, right?
very much so.
And
Yeah,
and sometimes we get uncomfortable in situations or things happen where we're so uncomfortable and we're terrified to make a move, but we have no choice
yeah,
for a reason, right?
yes, yeah,
Because the better thing is coming and we don't even know yet what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
So I'm so thankful. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Well,
I'm really,
thank you for the question. Yeah, that
oh
was,
my gosh.
I really want to be open with people. And again, if my journey can actually help other people,
Mhm.
that's important to me. That's important,
Yeah.
right? Because you're
Oh
not
my
alone. You're
gosh.
not alone. Everybody's going through
No.
something.
And that's
And
important.
your situation that you're dealing with at the moment, you have every right to feel what it is that you're feeling,
Mhm.
you know?
Right.
And just know that there are people out there that are here to support you and love you.
Right.
And that's what I love about this voiceover world too, because like my best friends that I have are in the voiceover world,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I've never actually seen them in person.
I know. Isn't that
I
wild?
talk with Brad every single week, and
Yeah.
he's my best friend. I love that
Yeah.
guy with everything. His family, just amazing family. His wife was a mentor for us one time too. Brad's been a mentor for us. They're just
Yeah.
I
He's
love that
great.
guy
He's
so much. He's like
wonderful.
a brother to me, right?
Yeah.
Larry, same thing, just like a brother. Richard, what a wonderful man. It just
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
so caring and kind and supportive. We have
Mhm.
Melanie Rose, she's so
Mhm.
lovely. She's always been a like number
Yes.
one supporter of the VO Academy, and I can't talk high enough about her. We got
Mhm.
Mo. Mo is just this ray of light, and she's just a firecracker, and she's so much fun to
Yes.
do these sessions with, and she's absolutely love her. I just love her so
Mhm.
much. And then
Yeah.
Trevor as well. Trevor Kimball, he's such a he's exactly the kind of person that I want to be around because he is so calm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Yeah,
calming. He's
very
so
very calm,
calming.
very very
I
calm,
love that.
collected,
Yes.
very very good. And then so
Yes.
the people that I'm mentioning here are all the facilitators and members of my team. And then we have a new member as well, and a new he was a mentor for us. And I just loved his style so much that I brought Ken Marsiglia into our group
Mm.
as well. And so he's got ideas for helping with like an audio program and all that kind of stuff as well, and just being able to support people with that. And he is, man, smart as a whip, and just like very very much so all about the VO Academy and helping it grow. And these people that you meet along your journey in my opinion, are lifelong friends.
Mhm.
And this community, this industry in general, I've never, ever worked in anything like it where people are so kind and considerate
Mm-hmm.
and all they want to do is help you out. They really
I
want to
know.
see you succeed. That's the main
Yeah.
thing, you know? It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely, I cannot say enough good about what the voiceover industry has to offer people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Me
why
too.
I really want to support more people to be able to
Yeah.
help them grow and they can see and experience what it is that we have, you
Yes.
know? And
Yeah.
then they can build on their career and we can help them grow and push them up to the level that they're supposed to be at. You know,
Right.
that's
No.
so important just to have that
So
level.
true.
Yeah.
But really,
Yeah.
really, what you have to offer is phenomenal. I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to even more and more
Oh,
things
great.
happening, you know. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to share or say?
Let's see. Next month, we always do December a little bit different. This month, we're working on it's called Old Time Radio Voiceover with
Mhm.
Richard, is our mentor here this month,
Yeah.
and we're actually producing a Christmas Carol voiceover play as well, which Anne is part of, and you guys are all going to get to hear her awesome English accent.
Hear
And
my Bronx English accent.
it's fantastic. It's so good, so good. It's so much fun. And so we're working on that stuff, and we still have I think another 4 script read sessions that we're working on this month. Next month is December is always a little bit different because of the holidays and such. So we're still going to have script reads, but I'm bringing in some experts as well to be able to come in and have some fun with us and answer some questions. So we have my good friend Larry Morrow. He's coming in to help us out with some improv. And so we're going to do a full 2-hour session on improv. And then we have Liz Atherton.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I literally wrote down Liz Atherton.
Did you really? Oh
I
my
swear,
gosh.
I mean, you can't read my scribble, but
Yeah,
I really, I wrote
Really?
it down. I was just gonna, oh my, I have chills.
Yeah.
I love Liz, and I was gonna say,
She's
oh, you should
amazing.
ask Liz.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
See, this is divine
Oh my
intervention,
gosh,
Cory.
Anne, that's awesome. Yeah.
I have a chill. She is
She
amazing.
is.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I love her. We had her on last year. She actually spent a whole month with us. I think it was last November. And she was just wonderful. The interview that I had with her, my face hurt so much because I was
Oh,
laughing so much with her.
yes.
Oh,
She is,
she's lovely.
oh my gosh, she's
Yeah.
wonderful. She's wonderful. That
Yeah.
is so crazy.
So she's going to come in. She's going to sit with us for probably about an hour or so, and do a Q&A with us, and just answer some questions about any kind of questions that people have about voiceover. I mean, anybody who doesn't know Liz Atherton, definitely look her up. She's had a wonderful career as an agent. She's a very, very successful agent. Ran her own businesses doing that for a number of years, and now she's running an online platform and getting that going. And she's worked with casting directors. She is a casting director. She's just an absolutely
amazing.
lovely soul and just a lot of
She
fun.
really
to be around.
is.
Yeah.
She really is. Is she going to do any kind of script read or just?
I think we're just going to do a Q&A. Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to do a Q&A with her. And then we have our friend there, Ken Marsiglia. He's going to come in and teach some more on audio engineering and such, and give us a course on that. And we'll have a Christmas party. We always have a Christmas party every year too. And we just basically get together and have some drinks and chat.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's how we'll end off the year. And then just as a surprise for everybody here, we have a very... another amazing mentor coming into us here in January. Mark Grau is coming in to coach us on character voiceovers for January of 2025. So I'm extremely excited about that, just as I am about all our mentors. I was so nervous to chat with Mark, but he was, what a guy. Oh my gosh. Like we set up a half an hour meeting just to chat. And we talked for an hour and a half, and he was just telling me stories and all that. He's just, what a lovely man. Yeah, I'm really excited for January as well. So
that's exciting.
We got some great mentors coming up, and I'm excited for the VO Academy to learn from them and just keep growing.
Gosh.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Me too. This is great. This is great. I'm so excited. That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah, really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we close,
Sure.
Would you you have a favorite quote, right? To close us out with?
Favorite quote to close us out?
One of your favorites?
One of my favorites. Yeah. What was that again? That was I have so many. But I believe it was the one that you read off was one, but there is another one that I do have as well.
Oh, was that the one you were getting?
Yeah.
Okay, ditto. We're
That's
done.
okay.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
Go ahead.
No, really, another quote that I found, and it's by an unknown person. It's just, hard times teach us valuable lessons. Stay positive and grateful for the strength and wisdom gained.
I love
And
that.
so that's
And who
just
said
nice and
that?
simple. It's
Is
just
that
an unknown.
unknown?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
So.
I like those. I have a lot of unknown ones.
Yeah, yeah, they're great. I mean, there's so many, right? Brendan Burchard is one of my go-tos for quotes as well, because
Right.
if you've never, listened to his audiobook called The Motivational Manifesto, please download it. It's absolutely amazing. And I don't
Oh.
get anything from this, but he's that book changed my life. It really did. It set me on a new path
Oh.
for sure. So check it out. It's really good.
I'm writing it down, so I check that out. I
Yeah.
love it. Oh my God, that's so great. That's so great. And you'll provide me with, we'll provide all the links. I'll put
Yeah.
all the links in the show notes.
Yeah.
And yes, this is so great. I like to
Oh,
give a quick shout out to my daughter Victoria Lynn Purdy, because she created the theme song for Time to
that's
Elevate.
great.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
that's
created
awesome.
and sings it.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
fantastic.
really
Good,
cool.
good.
Yeah, that was another divine thing
Yeah,
that
big shout
happened.
out then.
But
That's fantastic.
yes, Cory, I can't thank you enough. I could
Oh,
probably
thank
keep you
you.
here all day long.
Oh,
I so appreciate you doing this and the
thank
time you
you. Yeah, I
spent. And
appreciate you, inviting me on this. I was very, very excited to do it. I'm so excited that we were able to actually, talk in person and get to know each other a little bit more too, which is always nice, right? I try to get to know everybody where I can in the VO Academy, but it's tough. There's quite a few people and I do the best, but I'm always open for a chat and, talk some more and get to know each other. So thank you very much for this. I
yes,
truly appreciate it.
thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to